dog training is easy to learn and practice. Being able to grab hold of your dog's collar in an emergency can honestly mean the difference between your dog's life and death. If you want a better life for you and your dog, my Border Collies and I would love you to join us. Most dogs don't like pressure on the neck, so pulling on your dog's collar can be very uncomfortable for your pooch. A lot of dogs will back away when you go to reach for their collar. Dogs can feel quite threatened, especially if a stranger grabs their collar. But if your dog got loose, of course you'd want them to have the best chance possible to be rescued and brought to safety. The more you yourself practice collar grabs, the less unfamiliar and scary it would be if your dog did end up in an emergency situation. You can affect your dog's negative perception of a collar by teaching your dog that a tug on the collar is actually a fun game. For this game, you can use small treats that your dog loves or even a part of your dog's meal. Whatever you choose, make sure it's something that your dog really enjoys. There are some dogs that are just ultra sensitive around the neck area, so of course be extra cautious with dogs that you don't know very well. It's important to know that most dogs really don't like strangers giving them direct eye contact or reaching over their heads. In dog-to-dog communication, this is considered really threatening behavior, even though humans do it to each other all the time. So it's a good idea to always approach a dog from the side instead of head-on, and instead of staring directly, use your peripheral vision. Allow the dog time to approach you. If your dog is comfortable with a hand on the side of its neck, then just begin by tapping the dog's collar, then giving the dog a treat. So just tap and then treat. If your dog is comfortable with this, then you can begin to tug slightly, treating as soon as you tug. If your dog is happily accepting the treats, you can also use marker words like nice or good dog, but you don't have to.
Nice, good work.
This exercise works best if you can do it just a couple of minutes at a time, but frequently. For example, you could do a couple of these tugs just before your dog's meal time. This way it becomes very familiar to your dog because you're doing it on a daily basis. Try reaching for the collar from different angles and directions. In an emergency, someone may reach very quickly for your dog, so try to get them used to quicker movements. If there are family members or friends that the dog is comfortable with, try having them do some collar grabs as well. In an emergency, it might not be you who ends up grabbing the dog's collar. The idea is to make the collar grab non-threatening, familiar, and even fun. Once you've mastered the collar grab, you can do another version of this exercise to help with recall training. Once you know your dog is fine with a collar grab, try extending your arm and calling your dog from a short distance to you. Do this at first when there are no distractions to be sure that your dog will come to you, and reward your dog with extra treats.
You're on one, buddy. Good work. Oh, good job. Yay, good job. Good job.
The collar grab is very easy to do and can just become part of your routine with your dog. You can do the same exercise with a harness, which is what I prefer to use when I'm walking my dogs. Another way to keep your dog safe is to be able to get their attention quickly for recall. This next video will show you an easy exercise to get your dog's attention faster and will help you with both recall and loose leash walking. See you there.